Hey, let me know. We're going to wait a couple of minutes just so that everybody can get here. We're going to be coloring these little elephants. Just let me know that you're here and we'll get started. I'm going to wait a couple of minutes before I get started just so nobody misses anything. So I'm going to tell you guys, show you guys these elephants, how I colored them, which Tina on our team, she did a really good job at these as well. Are you on the video? Okay, then that one is you. Did you just give me a like? Okay, then somebody else is here stalking us and they haven't said nothing. So, but I have these to show. And we also have a freebie. If you are not already on our, hey, oh my God, it's Jeff. Hey man, how are you doing? I am so happy. Gosh, this is going to be pressure now. Some serious pressure. You had to get your chicken nuggets. So if you're not already on our email list, if you join our email list, because of a good friend of mine, I have a lot of people that ask me how I keep track of all of my stuff. And normally I used to do it in a little book, but she's like, you need to put all of that on a PDF so people can use it. And so if you join my email list for mailing, so you can get announcements for like when going live or inspiration on the blog, you won't get this on there though. This is my mess for tonight. But it has like the date you created it, if you are a blogger or on a design team, the date you posted it, what your creation was, and just all different, your measurements, tricks, products. It's just it helps me to remember what in God's green earth I did. I mean, come on, I'm 51 and I have fibrofog. So yeah, I need something to remember what I did. So if you are on the email list, this went out to you today. If you join the email list, you will get this. Should come to you immediately, but if it doesn't, then just let me know. So there is that if you are interested. And let me go ahead and zoom in so you can see these little guys. So these guys are awesome because I've been getting a lot of comments that they're just for babies, but who doesn't love elephants? I mean, you can make these for your birthday, a birthday card, a get well card. This would be my get well card because I've been sleeping. So you can use them for lots of different little things. So I'm actually going to color them a different pink tonight because the paper that we just put out, the Oh Baby Baby, and like here's a little bit of the spring is in the air. Yeah, my pink did not, look at this, that does not match whatsoever. I was not thinking because I just create, I don't look at my paper. Thanks, Jeff. You need to make your coloring books. Put a link to your coloring book so everybody can get your Mr. Chinnies because they are stinking cute. So there's actually 5 of them. I already used this one. But you guys know how I color. So I'm going to be starting off with my W2. Just put that right there. And I'm just going to go around all the places that I want shadow. And I'm trying to keep my fat fingers out of your way. And I'm just going to go right around his little face. And this isn't my darkest color. The W3 is going to be my darkest. So right now I'm just kind of going where I want shadow on his face.
Alicia says hi.
Hey, Alicia! Thanks, Meadow, for letting me know. Is there a delay tonight?
Yeah, there's a delay.
A little bit. Gotta love that awesome delay. Jeff, I don't know why, but I'm not seeing your stuff on Instagram anymore. Are you posting or am I just not getting it in my feed? So I'm just going to go around, get the tops of his little feet. And I'm going to get his ears. So I'm going to actually go around and do all of them. Now, my friend Tina, who's on the team, she actually gave these little guys cheeks. But I'm not going to do that. You guys can see her reel on Instagram, on our Instagram. Meadow, you want to put a link to our Instagram in there so they can see the reel?
And someone named Beth says, what cute elephants. And someone named Carrie says, good evening, love those sweet elephants. And Jeff says, I'm still posting. They must not be notifying you about them.
Beth, thank you so much. Carrie, thank you. You can get to play with these pretty soon too. And Jeff, that's because they're not nice. I will have to go on and I've noticed if I don't like something in a while, which is usually when I don't see it, they don't put it on my feed because they seem to think they know what I want to see more than I do, which I think is kind of rude.
What was I supposed to be doing?
You're supposed to be putting a link to our Instagram. Sorry, my little co-pilot forgot what she was doing. I'm starting to rub off on her, I think. She's getting my fibro fog. Or maybe she's really 51. No. Meadow, are you getting old?
Yeah.
She's like, no.
I just don't know what I'm doing. How do I get it?
Let's see. You always seem to know, right? They know what you're doing when you're shopping, but they don't look at all the stuff that you want to actually look at, which is rude. Nosy buggers. Let's see. So this right here, I'm not going to color this because you can see that's just, it's all pants. Jeff, yes, we can talk badly about them since we're on YouTube. We won't get in trouble. Oh my gosh, which reminds me, you didn't know this, Jeff, but I was actually in Facebook prison for like 4 days this weekend because I tried to post for the design team. I wanted to post our rules and FAQs so that it was handy for our team. And apparently that is against the Facebook rules. Which I thought was absolutely hysterical.
It was the Copictopia Creative one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never been in FB prison before, so it was kind of amusing. And they actually didn't put me in prison until I appealed it. So I must have gotten in trouble for talking back. I'm not quite sure. Yes, that is where all the cool kids hang out because best friend Jay, he's there constantly.
Jeff said, what's it like on the inside?
Well, it's very peaceful, I can tell you that. I didn't start talking to myself quite yet. I just moved over to Instagram and talked to everybody over there. I was like, ha ha, I'll show you guys. Okay, we're down to our last one.
You were already in motion when I came on. May I ask what color you're using?
Oh, I'm using W2. I try to put my caps up, but if you're watching like on a mobile device, I don't know if you can see the whole screen because I have it up on my computer to make sure I don't go off the screen like I am right now, obviously. So I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. But it's W2. And I didn't put all the colors that I'm using down, but I will update the list that's down in the description. That way everybody knows, you know, they can go back and you can go back and refer to it. Okay, so I'm done with W2. But before I forget,
she said, LOL, I can see the cap. I think I was so enjoying watching your color, I didn't pay attention.
Oh, don't worry. I'm enjoying coloring, so I wasn't paying attention to whether or not I was on the screen.
Jeff said, I can see everything okay. I'm on a mobile device.
Oh, awesome. Thanks for letting me know, Jeff. So I'm going to use, I personally, maybe other people don't, but I personally have a hard time sometimes with the ears. I will tend to overblend it if I do the brown color and then go over it with the pink. So I actually do the pinks first. That way, whoops, that's in the light now. There we go, R20. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do the pink first. That way I don't mess up the brown.
Beth said it's the whole challenge of trying to walk and chew gum at the same time.
You can do that?
Challenge of trying to walk and chew gum at the same time.
You can do that? I have a hard time doing that these days. So I'm not going directly, I need to stay up here. I'm not going directly down to the line. I am leaving a little bit, but I'm just going to go ahead and do the darker pink in his ear here.
She said not very well.
Join the club. So I'm going to go ahead and just get the pink here. Now, I'm a better puller than I am a pusher. So if you see me switching my paper around like I just did and it's bothering you, please let me know. And I will try to keep it as straight as I possibly can. But sometimes I have to flip it around so that I can, you'll see a lot of people that will take their marker and they color like this, which is pushing. But I actually have more control and do the thinner lines when I'm pulling. So I will actually pull instead of push. So if I move this around too much, please, please, please let me know. I don't want anybody sick. Because I know one gal, long time ago, I was doing, it was called Copic Academy. And a gal told me she couldn't watch anymore because she would actually get motion sickness from me moving the image around. So again, I'm going up to his face, but I'm only coming out about halfway from his ear. And I'm not going all the way down. I'm leaving a little spot at the end. Jeff, we need to get you coloring one of my images sometimes because you use all kinds of different things to color. I think it would be really cool. So this one, it looks like his head is just blending into his face, kind of like this one here. So I'm just going to go and kind of draw around his ear a little bit. And I'm just going to come in from that little line that I drew. So I don't like really harsh lines, and I don't want my pinks to look really, really dark. So now I'm going to go ahead and use R30 to smooth this out. And I'm only going in part way. And I'm just, on this one, I'm just going to come up like his face is round right here. So I'm just kind of keeping that rounded. Or at least to me, his face is round. I know other people might see it differently. But this is really quick. Once you get the darker colors in and get everything going, the final little bits are pretty fast.
Jeff said, "Oh yeah, totally. I'm nowhere as good at coloring as you are, though, but I try."
Please, this is just my kindergarten skills coming to fruition. Okay, just like this one, I'm going to keep it kind of rounded right here for his face. And now I'm going to move back to the colors I was doing, and I'm going to use W1. Make sure that's not in the light. But still, you use a lot of different markers, Jeff, so I think it would be really cool. Because you don't use just Copic, do you? So I'm going to go ahead and make the curvature of his face.
It says, "Not when it comes to blending and shading, though. It still blows my mind watching you."
Thank you. I don't know. I just do whatever I know a lot of people can get really realistic. I don't tend to pay a whole lot of attention to where the sun is going to be. I just don't stress out about my coloring.
Jeff said, "I started using Woohoo markers."
Oh, I've heard of those, and they're supposed to be just as good. How do you like them compared to the Copic markers? And you guys are making Meadow work tonight. It's awesome.
I've never had to work this much.
Can you guys even hear her? Because she's in here going, I've never had to work this much. So I actually missed his ear right here. So I'm going to go in, because this is the darker part of his ear. So I'm just going to go right over the top of the pink in that little semicircle. And then I'm going to go over the pink here. So you can see it's starting to blend to where it looks like it's, skin instead of just this bright pink blob.
Jeff said, "I like them a lot. I bought an entire set when I did those movie poster parodies back in December."
Oh, awesome. Hey, Jeff, put your link to your Instagram so everybody can see your movie poster parodies. I think that would be cool. I'm sure everybody would like them. Okay, so doing the same spots. This is actually, for me, this is the fastest way. If I'm doing a lot of images, which with releases, I'm usually coloring every stamp set. So this is actually, oh, you can hear her, Alicia? That's awesome. So, but I color everything at once, but I usually just do one color and just get everything in there. And then after I do my coloring, that's when I will actually do my cards. I always do the coloring first, which is why this mistake happens, because I forget and I don't match my paper. So I need to get his ear. And his wee face.
Everybody wants to see Jeff's work.
See, everybody wants to see your work. Put your link to your Instagram in the chat. There we go. Jeff draws. He actually draws and colors the cutest little well, he calls it Mr. Chinny, but he's a chinchilla, and they're absolutely adorable. I love them. He makes them in costumes and everything else. Okay. Finally, Jeff, it took you long enough. So one thing that I also like about doing it this way is using one color at a time to do 5 images and going back to the first one, is because I am a very, very, very heavy-handed colorist. And so, whoops, that's the wrong one. I need, what color was that I just used? I used 1. So now I'm going to use 0. So it gives the image a little bit of time for me to go ahead and soak up the ink on the paper. And the paper I'm using is, which one is this? I use like 2 different papers. Yeah, I can talk about that. Do you have any questions, Beth? But the paper I use is Nina, the Classic Crest. This is such a long name. Classic Crest Solar White 80 pound. It's like trying to remember the alphabet when you're not right in your head.
Wondering how a beginner would manage at the retreat.
A beginner at the retreat, I would more than likely, I would put you in the front row. That way, you would be close to me or whoever is teaching, and you would be able to ask questions. We have beginners and we have advanced people in the group. And if you're having problems, I even have my friend Kim Meadow, who is my little sidekick. You can hear her voice. We will come around and help you. And no, Jeff, there is no way in God's green earth I cannot say that 10 times fast. But you would be just fine at the retreat, Beth. Really, we take care of our people. I love doing the retreats because I used to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I learned very quickly that this is my passion. While I would love to make money, I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it because I have a good time. I love teaching people. And in my book, people come first. So if you're having problems or anything like that, or you have questions, even if it's 20,000, you are more than welcome to ask.
Jeff said.
What did Jeff? What?
Or Beth said, "Well, I'm trying to pluck the chicken feathers off my shoulders." And then Jeff said, "Wish I lived closer so I could go to one of your retreats."
You don't live that far, Jeff. It's called an airplane, and you've been to Florida. Come on, man. It's me. You know we'd have a good time. And Beth, I have never heard that saying before, so you're going to have to explain that one to me. That might be one that I steal from you too, because that one sounds fun. Oh, am I frozen, Meadow?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
No, you're good.
I'm good? Okay, sweet. My camera makes this weird like click click noise every once in a while. You guys might have heard it. But I'm always nervous that it just like shut down and quit working, because this camera is still fairly new, so I'm not completely used to it. Okay, so now I'm going to finish the whole thing off really fast. I mean, I'm still going to go back to W3 so I can get some contrast, like in this one. We have the darker contrast, but I'm just going to finish all the little white spots because I'm not somebody to leave white. I was the little kid that had to color the entire color book page. So I'm not someone who leaves white. I've tried and I have tried. I just can't bring myself to do it.
Jeff said that is true. Meadow will keep an eye on the camera feed.
Yes, and she does. She keeps a very close eye on things for me when she's not playing her games or looking on Pinterest. Little miss. She just rolled her eyes at me. Y'all can't see that, but you know she did.
Beth said, "LOL, I just made that up. A nice way of saying I'm a big chicken."
Oh. Well, I might be stealing that one from you, because that is funny. I like that one. Where are you from, if you don't mind saying, Beth? Let's see, just getting his ears. Oh, it was the
audacity.
Say that louder so Jeff can hear you. I was laughing.
The audacity.
That was directed at you, Jeff, just so in case you didn't know. So I'm just kind of going over everything with my W00. That way it'll smooth out some lines and get rid of some of that. I like everything to be smooth when it's blended. I don't like, the rough lines or anything like that unless I'm doing clothing or the image calls for it. And usually when I have the 00, because when there's a 0, there's more to make the colors lighter. They just put colorless blending fluid in the color to make it lighter. So the lighter the color, the more zeros you have, the more colorless blender you have. Oh yeah, Alicia, you can speak about the retreats because you do them all.
Beth says she's from Connecticut.
Oh, you're not that far away at all, Beth.
And Samper said, "Haha, I'm surprised my 16-year-old bonus son hasn't rolled into another dimension."
That is hysterical. Okay, now for the contrast color, I'm going to use W3. And I'm basically just going in wherever I want some cast shadow. So I would get it on his ears, underneath his ear and his neck. And then get some here on his ear.
Beth said she loves the way you color.
Thank you, sweetheart. And then I try to just do it, I don't know, I just like it to be easy and relaxing. I'm not into realistic stuff. That would drive me too crazy and I'd be too stressed out of whether my stuff was right, or I just want to do it for fun and have a good time. And if it makes sense in the process, woohoo! So get around his little nose here, where his little bendiness is. I told him I should make a card with like him sitting here and this one sitting here with water shooting on his head for a birthday card. I thought that would be funny.
Jeff said cute cartoons are way more fun to create.
They are. They're a lot more fun. So go on his little bendy bits on his nose. I'm going to get here.
Someone said named Planet. Your elephants are beautiful and I love your technique on multiples.
Oh, thank you, Lynette. That's very nice. I appreciate that. And then I'm just going to get under his nose because his belly's going to have some shadow.
Andrew said, once I stopped following all the coloring rules, it was more fun to color with my Copic.
Right? So I actually did Copic certification classes. I did them with Sherry Siemens many years ago. Gosh, that's been almost, Lord have mercy, 10, 15 years ago. But I did them a long time ago. And I've been to other classes. I've been to rewind. I've been to Jen Dove's boot camp. And I've done Kitten Clowder classes. But it seems like every time I take somebody else's class besides Sherry, because Sherry kind of colored like we do, and she's the one who certified me. So every time I just tend to keep going back to what she told me to do as far as coloring goes. You know, just kind of just let the image guide you.
Jeff said you should totally do that card with water spraying. That would be so cute.
I really think I'm going to. I think it would be hysterical to do that. Maybe that'll be Meadow's birthday card, even though I've already technically made her like 3, I think, with all the cards that I make. Because I'm like, oh, this card can be for oh, wait, no, this card can be for Meadow's birthday. Steven's a little harder to make stuff for. But I have his made too. There we go. So Beth, what we're doing, like how I'm coloring here, and I'm letting you guys know what I'm doing and how I'm answering questions and stuff like that. That's just how Retreat is. We do the same thing. And if you have questions about, other things, then we cover that too. So there's that one. We're almost done with the gray.
Jeff says Meadow can have multiple cards. She gets bonuses as your co-pilot.
That is true. She does get bonuses as that's her paycheck right there. Actually, it's a little bit easier for her too because I'm like, hey, should I give this card to so and so? And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, what about this card? She says, no. I'm like, well, I have to give it. And she's like, no. She wants to keep all, she has so many cards up in her bedroom because she won't let me give them away.
Beth says, I agree, that would be a very cute card.
Well, I will definitely have to make that one this week and post it. So right here, there's like a little swoop on his nose. I don't know if you guys have noticed that because I didn't do it on that one either. But I'm just coloring that in with the W3.
Jeff said she's your number one fan after all. She's got to keep them all.
She does. She does not let me get rid of any of them. And some of them are questionable. Like I don't even like them. And she's like, no. Okay, last one. And then we will go ahead and use the W1 to just soften this up a little bit. So get around his little ruffles.
Beth said, typically how many markers will we need for the retreat?
Last year we used 99 different markers, but I don't want that to scare you. This year it might be a little bit different, but you don't have to use the colors that we are using. You can use different ones. Like say we're using, I don't know, pinks and blues, but you only have blues, then you can just do, like say I was going to do these ones pink and these roses blue, but you only had pink markers. You can just use pink markers. 99 markers isn't a lot. I mean, if you think about it, I've already used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've used 7 markers so far just on what I've been doing.
Lynette says, I can't seem to get a fine line with the Copic to do the final shot. What is your advice on this?
I tell a lot of people, because you can see here, like this is pulling, and I'm not putting any more pressure on my pen. Actually, you probably can't see that. Let me pick something darker. So this way, I'm pulling towards me. And I'm not putting any more pressure, but this is pushing away from me. So try on a piece of paper to push or pull, and that might make a difference. If that doesn't make a difference, like I don't hold my markers really tight. They're just kind of loose in my hand. And I just treat them more like a paintbrush. And I just use my fingers like this to move the brush. So some people I know will hold it like all the way down here, and then they see how thick that is. So try to hold it up a little bit and treat it like a paintbrush. And I have one friend that I have to tell her it's a paintbrush, not a crayon. So try just holding it a little bit lighter, or just try the push and the pull and see if that works for you. I know that that's worked for a lot of people.
Beth says, is there a supply list?
There will be a supply list, and I give that actually. My girls are supposed to have their stuff to me by the end of the month. And so I will have a supply list by mid-March, as far as everything that needs to go. So I try to give it as early as possible. And then I usually put links to everything that you may or may not need. If you're coming in person, I don't want you to bring your entire craft room. So things like glue and stuff like that, I try to supply as much as possible. Like last year, I had the glue already supplied. I had, what else? I had glue. I had stamping blocks. I had ink pads. I had a lot of stuff that needed to be brought, but I just don't feel right asking everybody to bring their entire craft room with them for a retreat. So I try to supply as much as I can. But when you guys are virtual, then there are extra supplies because you have your supply room right there. Yes. Let me know how it goes. Lynette, let me know if it works for you or not. I would love to know if any of those worked. So I'm just pulling this out. And I'm making, my flakes are really small. They're only like, I don't know if you can see that. Let me get my dark one again. My flicks are only like this big, pulling everything out. And sometimes I won't even flick. Sometimes I'll just dot it. It's kind of funny because I say that I'm a heavy colorist or a heavy-handed colorist, but it's not because I push on my stuff. It's just because I go over things so much. Because I want it to be nice and smooth.
That said, LOL, I don't want to bring my entire craft room either.
Yeah, that is just, bringing your whole craft room is just such a pain. Oh my gosh. I went to a crop. Meadow and I went to a crop. What was that? Weekend before last, Meadow? And all I was doing was coloring, but I took a couple of other things in case I finished coloring, which we know I'm not going to finish coloring. Hello, get real. Takes me like an hour to do stuff. But it was supposed to be 9 hours, 9 or 10 hours, something like that. But so I took a few other things, and I literally felt like I was packing and unpacking, and it was just for one day, and it was so horrible. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that again. So I can't. I always tell everybody, even my team members, I will never ask anybody to do something that I would not do myself. And yeah, I would not bring my entire craft room. I just, nope. That is one thing I am not willing to do. There was one year too that I know people have, because of scissors, they have problems flying with scissors. So one year for our Christmas retreat, I gave everybody the Tim Holtz, one of their little goodie things in their bag was the Tim Holtz 5-inch scissors, because they're big enough to get on a plane and they're small. So you don't have to worry about, some big bulky thing that you have to tote around. But I love my Tim Holtz scissors. I know some people like Martha Stewart, and there's some other scissors around too, but I like these ones. What do I have them? Yeah. See, these just little teeny tiny scissors. They're nice and small. Thank you, Lynette. I look forward to hearing how it goes for you, if it works.
Darlyn says, hello, sorry I'm late to the party, loving the elephants.
You are late, but you know I will take you whether you're late or not, Darylyn. I'm glad you like the elephants. I think she got these. I think she pre-ordered these. You guys can pre-order these on our site if you want to help us out. Since we are a new company, we're a baby company. Let's see. And I think I'm going to go ahead and use my W0 just to, because I don't like how this one's looking. He's looking more like he's got a rash than he does like he's actually got some shadow on him. There we go. Can't have any sickly elephants around here. He looks okay. He looks okay, and he looks okay. Well, and sometimes too, if you don't want to pull any more out, and sometimes it won't overblend, if you actually push the color in instead of pulling the other color out. Now for the pink. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and start with, let's see, what am I going to start with? I'm going to go ahead and start with 83, R83. Darylyn, you got the elephants, didn't you? I think you did. So these roses are kind of, when I was drawing them, they made sense. But I was also drawing them a lot bigger. And I can't remember exactly where all my lines are. So I just kind of go where I think I know what I was doing.
Darlyn said, I can't remember. LOL, I should go look.
I can't remember. I know you ordered something, but I can't remember exactly what you ordered. Meadow, why don't you go ahead and put a link in there? So there's a little tiny rosebud here.
The link to the release.
Yeah. And there's little flowers. And then put the link to the, so that Beth, have you been to the retreat website? You can see all the crazy pictures, all the fun we had. So I'm just kind of outlining the petals. Can you guys see that? Can you see it okay on there, or should I zoom in, Meadow?
Zoom in a little.
Zoom in a little? Okay. Let me put my glasses. Meadow, why did you just write retreat link?
I meant to put it in one thing.
You are so funny, kiddo. Sorry, this is going to get a little bit crazy because I'm going to zoom in and out a little bit so I can clear this up. There we go.
Because I did put the actual link in there, so yours must be slow.
Yeah, I'm probably just catching up. So again, I'm just barely touching the paper, which my hands are really shaky right now, so I'm waiting to just go zip right off the paper and have a big old line, which, yes, I have done. Not on camera, thankfully, but I have done it. And I think I'm going to do his little toenails the same color. Or hers. Gosh, I hope it's a girl if I'm putting on little pink roses and pink toenails.
Although it didn't show me other links of it.
You probably just have to put the whole link, ditto.
I did. Beth said I have not yet tried looking on my phone, but not as nice as using the iPad.
Yeah, things are much nicer on the tablet than on the phone.
And Jeff said my hands shake a lot too. Well, thanks to my addiction to coffee for that.
Oh, so I should be making you a coffee card, not elephant cards, huh? Jeff? All the little bunnies and cats in the coffee cups. I don't have any coffee right now, but I have tea. Does that count? Probably because I'm freezing my booty off. It's so cold. I don't like cold. I should move down Dara Lynn's way, but I can't do hurricanes and stuff anymore. I've been there, done that. I'm kind of over it.
Jeff said an elephant drinking the coffee would be super adorable.
You know, it'd be even better is a chinny drinking coffee. I need to learn how to draw a chinny because I think that would be super cute.
He said that is true.
I love all the little chinnies that hold up you see the reels of them holding up those cute little signs with their cute little fingers. They're so cute.
So Stamperoo said it's 35 in
What?
That's New Hampshire.
What?
And then Dara Lynn said it's gonna be 80 in Phoenix.
Dara Lynn, oh,
I wish.
Not nice. It was 50 here today, I think. A whole 50. But maybe since it's so cold, I'm praying that it'll be a nicer summer. Maybe.
Beth said define cold.
Cold. Okay, so we used to live in California for a while. We lived right outside Palm Springs in the desert. And my husband, who is originally born and raised in Washington State, thinks that 70 is too hot. Okay. Me, on the other hand, who was raised between the South and little bits in California, thinks that 70 is freezing cold. So he would keep the AC at 70, and I would be outside on our deck with sweats and a sweatshirt on in 110 to 120 degrees and be perfectly fine.
Jeff said it's 42 here.
You're psycho, Jeff. It's so cold. Well, no, I guess it's about the same here. Meadow, check. Let me see. What is it here? It's 60 here right now.
It's breaking the limit right there.
Yep, it's starting to warm up. But yet my toes, I'm always cold though. I have tiny, tiny veins, so I'm super cold. And it's the heat is different in the desert because it's a dry heat. You don't have any humidity or anything like that. So the heat's it's a lot different. So, but my son and my husband do not miss the California heat whatsoever.
Beth said it's currently
Oh gosh, no.
And then Sarah says these are so adorable.
Thank you, Sarah. And Beth, you definitely need to come to retreat so that you can come and thaw out. Is it always cold like that in the winter, or is it just this whole cold thing that's going on right now?
That said, I think 70 is just perfect.
You and my husband would get along just dandy then. My kids actually call me, I don't know if any of you, I know Jeff will, remember the old Christmas special cartoons with the claymation. But the kids actually call me Heat Miser, and they call my husband Snow Miser.
Jeff said, I always have the air conditioning running for Bubbles.
Well, that's because Bubbles is amazing, and Bubbles rules all.
And then Sarah says, we're at 70 right now, but we just had a freeze like 2 weeks ago.
Great day. This weather's crazy. I don't know about y'all, but here it'll be really nice and warm one day. And then the next day, you think you're watching the day after tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, but in real life. It's so cold. You think that the dinosaurs are coming back and asteroid's going to hit the earth and we're going to freeze to death. Okay, so that was R81. There isn't much room here left. So I'm just going to go in with RV00. And I'm not even doing any flicks. I'm just making, well, you can't see it. Excuse me. I'm just making little tiny dots.
That said, actually, we've had a warm winter.
What?
35 warm.
30. Wow. Oh my goodness. Beth, you need to come defrost, honey. In May, it doesn't get too warm. It's still kind of chilly here. Excuse me. Let me take a drink. I'm sorry, I'm coughing. Did you ever get that link working, Meadow?
I think I put it up there, but it didn't show up on your screen, so I don't know if it worked or not.
Can anyone let Meadow know if the link worked for you? Because she put up a link, but it's not showing on my computer, but it's showing on her tablet, so we're not sure if it actually worked for you or not. If my fingers would work, that would be fantastic.
Darwin says, I'll put it in again.
Well, even if you don't see it, it's down in the description as well, so you can also find it there. I always make sure to put all the links in there.
Yeah, I sent it again and it's not coming up on your computer.
Okay, so it's not allowing links in there. So this is RV00 again. I forgot to finish out their little fingernails. And again, I'm not flicking, I'm just tapping little dots. And this poor fella, I didn't even do hers at all. So I'm just going to go in there with a little bit of RV00 and then R81. Just a little R81 at the top. So these guys, except for the pads on their feet and their underpants, they are done. Although his ear looks a little weird. Let me see. I'll go in. Let's see.
Yeah, that said the link didn't post either.
Not even in the description? Or is that just in the chat?
I'll look in the description really quick.
Okay, Meadow's going to check out the description.
I can figure it out. I don't know.
There we go. That makes me a little happier.
Yeah, the links are in the description.
Okay, so the links, Meadow links are in the description. So I'm going to go ahead and do the pads of their feet. These two are the only ones. I'm going to use R01. And I forgot his little fingernails too. Good grief. There we go. And then I'll use R00. And I'm just coming down. You can also use R00 and R01 for his ears as well if you want something a little bit more orange instead of so pink. And then let's see, their underpants.
Lynette says I do that a lot.
Do what a lot? I'm lost. What did I do? What did I do, Lynette? Oh, you forget their toenails. Okay. Yeah, I do that quite often. I'll forget toenails, eyes. I forget all kinds of things. And then I'll finish the card and I'll take the picture. And I'm like, oh, wait. I already took the picture. I'm done. So I'm going to start off with R83 again for their underpants. I'm not going to do the little ruffle bit. I'm just going to do the actual material part. See, like I forgot his tail.
Lynette said I take a lot of breaks.
I do sometimes. It kind of depends on how my day's going, on whether or not I have enough energy to get it done. So I actually, on him, I went around his bottom, but I left a little bit of a white line so we can put some R00 in there. So it looks like the light is coming around his bum. And then I'm going to do his. And I didn't do his tail. What is the heck? I did their tails. Did I do his tail? Yep. No. Nope, I didn't. I forgot their tails too. Oh my gosh. So that was R83. Now I'm going to use R81.
Carmen says hello. I'm sorry I'm late.
You're fine. Y'all are funny because you're like, I'm sorry I'm late. There's no time. It's not like school. You don't have to be here. I'm thankful that you are, and I love seeing that you're here with me because it makes doing videos a whole lot more fun instead of just sitting here not talking to nobody. But you don't got to be on time. And Carmen, you know me. I'm not worried about that. Carmen's been to retreat too, Beth, so you can ask her how it is for beginners.
Jeff said not the tails.
Not the tails. No. Not the gumdrop buttons. So just finishing up with the RV00. And then we will go back for the tails because we can't forget those. And the fingernails. Let's see, this one needed fingernails done. And then I'm going to do the tops of his little fingernails with R81. And if y'all are late or anything like that, you can always, well, I'm not going to say late, but if you guys missed part of it, there we go. You guys can always watch the replay too. That's one of the things that is just so handy about just recording stuff. So now I have their little tails to do. So I'm looking for.
Jeff
What are you
said,
laughing about?
Jeff said, "Do you know the Muffin Man?"
The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man down on Drury Lane? Jeff, I really hope everybody else has seen Shrek or they're going to think I'm nuts. Like, completely nuts. I have lost my mind.
Beth said, "How many are in attendance at the retreat?"
It kind of depends because we have virtual and we have in person. I know with the economy this year, we have less in person than we do virtual, but I would have to do virtual, but I would have to, I would actually have to look at the numbers. If you want the numbers, I can email that to you. Just go ahead and get a hold of me. So there's the tails. Do you got a tail? His tail needs to be finished. So I am going to add one color. I didn't list it, so I'll list it when I am all done. Let me grab my markers. I'm going to go ahead and use BV20 because I can't just leave this white. It's bothering me. So I'm just going to do a little bit to make his little ruffles stand out some more. And I'm just going where the little lines are at.
Cindy said, "Your elephants are so cute. I can't wait to meet them."
Thank you. They're so fun. I love them. And I don't care. I mean, a lot of people have been saying that they're just for babies, but they're not. I love them. And I have a lot of friends that love elephants. I think they're just kind of, to me, they're just kind of sweet and girly. But I mean, even if you had, I don't know if it would work, but if you had like a little boy who liked elephants, I don't know if the flowers would work, but to me, they would still work. So this is BV triple or quad 0, and I'm just tapping on the BV20 just so it's not quite so harsh, but it is, the ruffles are still standing out. So that is it. Let me go ahead and zoom out. Cover up my little spots. And I am very surprised because normally my hands are so shaky, I'll go out of the lines. And I barely, well, I went out of the line a little bit right there. But I went out of the lines hardly at all tonight. So yay, that's awesome.
Lynette said, "Weather is the same here in Alabama, all 4 seasons in one day on most days."
It's been like that here. We have rain, we have sun. I think the only thing we haven't had this year, which Meadow's upset about, is snow. But I told her I'd send her to Tina's house in Alaska because I don't want snow. God loves me. So
Stanford said, "I use elephants all the time. I can always mask off the flowers and make a boy."
see, there you go. See? That's an awesome idea. Just mask the flowers off and you're good to go. Maybe, you know what? Maybe. So the next release is going to be a lot of aquatic. And then the release after that, we're having, what are we having? Oh, we're having Christmas. So maybe after that, I'll do some boy elephants. Oh, I love Lots of Heart Elephant from the Care Bears. That is so cute. See, Meadow, you can go to Montreal with Carmen. You can go Stamperoo. I'm sorry. I am so mean. What is your first name again? I'm so horrible. Michelle. Is it Michelle? I think that's what it was too, but I didn't want to make a fool out of myself. But you could go to Michelle's house. You could go a lot of places, girl, to get snow. You're not going to get snow here. God loves me too much, so he won't give me snow. Thank God. So, but if you want these stamps, and then we have, I don't have, let's see. I don't know if you guys can see these or not. Yeah, Michelle, that was right. Michelle Meadow. Good job. And I thought it was Michelle, but like I said, I didn't want to make a fool out of myself. So, Jeff, you need these bunnies. The coffee bunnies.
It was so delayed it hasn't even come
Yeah.
Yep.
That's funny. So if you haven't, let me zoom out some more again. So if you haven't gotten on the email list, you will get this for free. If you are on the email list already, then check your email because this will be a download for you if you would like to have it so you can keep track of what colors you used on what, like I have my colors. I need to write a couple more down. And then what size card and just notes and stuff like that of what I was using. So everyone asked me how I keep track. Now you all know. So you can download that if you would like. And I will see you. When am I on again, Meadow?
28th.
The 28th, next Monday. So I'm going to pray that I don't have another fibro flare and that I'm late. But I will make sure that
Jeff said, OMG, those are so cute.
There's one for you, Jeff. So, but if I don't have another fibro flare, I will be on next Wednesday. So I just pray that I don't, and everything will be fine. And I will go ahead and make that card with these two at the water spout, and I will make sure that I get it posted for y'all this next week. So any questions before I go? I will wait a couple minutes since we are delayed.
Yeah, you just put the bunny in the middle.
Oh, are you serious? I just put that in there. That's insane. So that's a good minute, probably. At least, you think? So I'll just wait a couple minutes for some questions, if there are any. Put my stamps, my pens away so Steven can put them away tomorrow.
Cindy said thanks for showing us the cuteness.
Of course, always. And Cindy, you need to show me your cameras when you get them done.
Jeff said, can't wait for your next stream. This was great.
This was a lot of fun, and it was so nice that you were on here, Jeff. That really means a lot to me, seriously. Not the toenails. Oh, blobs are the worst. I hate blobs. Blobs are the absolute worst. Okay, so it looks like we're catching up. So I will see you guys next week. If you make anything, tag me. I want to see it. I will go ahead, just in case Jeff's link, if you guys missed Jeff's stuff, I will go ahead and put that down in the description so that y'all can see it. Because his stuff is so, I love his Mr. Chinnies and Bubbles and Toby, and I love them. So I will put that down in the description for y'all, and I will see you next week. Bye, everybody. Thank you for coming.